Fear of war is once again sweeping the Seven Kingdoms. The people of Westeros believed the War of the Five Kings to be over thanks to the alliance of the major houses against the Night King and the White Walkers. But a new spark has been thrown onto the nearly burned out fire. Unless your ravens were lost or eaten by wolves, you will no doubt be aware of the fact that Eddard Stark, former Lord of Winterfell, Hand of the King to the late King Robert Baratheon, and Warden of the North, has returned from the dead. Joining us tonight, we are lucky enough to have Lord Davos Seaworth, Chief Advisor to King Jon Snow, King in the North, Lord Varys, Master of Whisperers to Queen Daenerys Targaryen, Mother of Dragons, Lord Beric Dondarrion, Leader of the Brotherhood Without Banners and former Lord of Blackhaven, and Lord Drevin Lannister, newly appointed Hand of the Queen to Queen Cersei Lannister, Queen of King's Landing. As you know, HBO has exclusive rights to film in Westeros, so we will be communicating via conference call. My lords, thank you for joining us.
Jason, I just wanted to say before we started that I don't think it's correct to call Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen a king and queen. Queen Cersei is the one true ruler of the Seven Kingdoms.
Lord
She was
Drevin,
married to King Robert, was mother to his children,
Lord Drevin,
served
with all
as
due
Queen
respect,
Regent when they were too young to rule themselves.
let's try and keep this
Now that they're all
discussion of
deceased,
succession
as
for
well
another
as King
time.
Robert's brothers, she is next in line to the throne. 7 L's. Cersei blew up everyone of power in King's Landing and took the throne for lack of opposition. She's as much the rightful ruler as Jon Snow with his bastard blood is. Oh, did you have something to say, Spider? Oh no, I've just been hearing some interesting whispers on that matter is all.
Lord Varys, no spoilers please. I'd really like to get to our topic tonight because I think it's an important one as it deals with all of us, myself included. I know that some of you may not like each other, some of you may have strong feelings. To the extent that I can, I'm going to let you guys talk. Let's see how it goes. Lord Davos, let's start with you. What does Ned Stark's return mean for this alliance?
Well, Jason, I'd never met Ned Stark during his life, but John has told me a great deal about him since we learned he was back. From what I can tell, and I'm sure all of you will agree with me on this, he's a very honest man. He's a traitor, more like.
Lord Drevin, I'll get to you in a second. Please let Lord Davos finish.
Well, the Whites are threatening his home, his family, his bannermen. Ned spent his entire life protecting the North. I can't see him wishing anything now that he's back, except to protect his people.
Lord Drevin, did you have something to add?
Well, Jason, the fact of the matter is that Ned Stark was a traitor. He betrayed King Robert's trust and plotted against his son Joffrey to steal the throne, and he was justly punished for his crimes. Now, I'm just thinking out loud here, but I'm a firm believer that people who commit treason once are bound to do it again. If we accept Stark's help, if he's even offering help, we'll have to watch our backs more than we already are. I can tell you that Queen Cersei will not agree to work with this man, if he is a man at all. Because Cersei betrayed him and chopped off his head. The Queen did no such thing. It was King Joffrey's royal decree, validated by his divine right. Look, Jason, who is this guy? I'd never in my life heard of a Drevin Lannister before last week when he was appointed. And that was only because Cersei blew up everyone else in King's Landing. No one knows who this guy is. Everyone knows who I am. That's the problem. That's why everyone's so mad.
I'd like to keep our arguments on topic and not against each other, please. But I wanted to go back to what Lord Drevin asked earlier. He questioned if Ned Stark was still a man at all. Lord Beric, you have some experience in this matter. Is Ned Stark still human, and can you give us some insight into how he came to be resurrected?
Well, keep in mind that I am no expert. I was merely on the receiving end of Thoros' abilities, and if he were still with us, I'm sure he could give you a better explanation. One of the methods of raising the dead that I am aware of, there is one that we can rule out, and that is the Night King. The whites that the Night King reanimates are empty husks. We know that Ned is more than a husk, as he fled the crypts of Winterfell and is gathering a band of sorts in the Wolfswood. The other two methods are blood magic and the kiss of life, both of which are unlikely, as the former requires a blood mage and the latter a priest of the Lord of Light. If it was the Lord of Light who brought him back, there are a few speculations I could make. For one, it would take a priest far more blessed than Thoros of Myr ever was. He would never have been able to reawaken someone who'd been decapitated. I also cannot speak to his physical condition. Ned was killed several long years ago. The Lord of Light cannot heal old wounds, so he is likely still headless and in some state of decay. What kind of god would bring someone back to life only to give him that kind of existence? A god who believes some have duties left unfinished, Lannister. Look, I don't understand why you're all against me. The Queen is assembling an A-team of Lannister men to march north. She's leaving herself and King's Landing virtually undefended, until the Golden Company arrives. What? What were you thinking? Let yourself first, and then you act in and catch us in a fight with the Night King.
Stark is amassing a band of sorts in the Wolfswood. Lord Varys, I believe I'm correct in saying that you know more about what happens in Westeros than most other men.
He's not a man.
Lord Varys, What can you tell us about this band and Ned Stark's plans?
Well, Jason, I can tell you that he plans to marches to King's Landing and cut Cersei's throats before the Golden Company gets there. Cersei did not enlist the Golden Company. Why would Lord Varys wish to destabilize the alliance? Cersei's record is against her. She murdered King Robert as well.
We appreciate the time you spent with us tonight.
Natural Seven Hells, you're not real lion.
Wow, we're doomed.
All right, enough. That's not helpful. That's all the time we have tonight. I'm Jason Chase. This has been your nightly news update. Now here's the weather in your neck of the Trident. Dan? Thanks, Jason. Bundle up or stay inside, everyone. Winter is here. Heavy snowfall is expected throughout the north from Winterfell to White Harbor. Expect upwards of 12 inches. Later in the week, that snowfall becomes a blizzard everywhere north of the Riverlands. Light snow has reached as far south as King's Landing. Nothing you can make a snowman out of, but certainly enough to make leading an ox cart down the street hazardous. Highgarden has so far been spared the frost, but temperatures are expected to get down to the mid-30s overnight and hover in the 50s to 60s throughout the day. It's been a long summer, everyone. Let's hope we live to see the end of this winter. This has been Dan Roepler with your nightly weather update.